Good evening, Lea Rig. Do I have your attention?
Yeah.
Excellent, excellent. Well, because joking aside, Sharon puts on a great show and she tries to get some comedians to go along with the music. And as a comedian, if you've not got that wee bit of engagement, it makes it very, very difficult. Anyway, football fans in here tonight.
Yo.
Been watching the World Cup.
Yo.
England are out.
Yo.
However, I don't really mind the English. I'm a tolerant person. There's one group of people that bug the shit out of me. They're a bunch of entitled, walking about, no purpose to them, thinking that the world owes them a living. And it's young people. Young people today are wee fans. And when I say young people, we're talking Gen Z. That is Z for zilch. That is Z for zero, because that is the amount of charisma that these wee fannies have. Not all, I must say, not all of them. We had the great Joanne, who was up here playing her fiddle. Now, to me, she's very young, she's just a kid. Please do not go onto social media and say that there was a kiddie fiddler in Denniston tonight, because they're about to have another fucking riot. So, some great acts, as Sharon says, so, give us a wee bit of respect and listen to what we've got to say. If we're shy, that's fine, you just don't ask us to come back again. So as I say, these wee Gen Zs are absolute fans, and I'll own two of them myself. I've got a 20-year-old son, he's a boxer, fucking Fanny Pacquiao. And I've got a daughter, 23-year-old, she is the poster child of Gen Z. If you look up Gen Z in an encyclopedia, you will see her there. 6 foot tall, her big baggy jeans, her fucking cowhide coloured Adidas Samba, and her emotional support water bottle. Yes, that's right, you heard me right, a fucking emotional support water bottle. Most people in here have kind of my generation. Another thing I've noticed about Denniston, I take it there's not a fucking big trade in barbers, because there's not many country fucking hearing the read in here tonight. But we get our emotional support from our parents, and I fucking put up the arse when we needed it as well. And we drank our water out the garden hose. And we were usually washing down a piece in sugar. Who remembers a piece in sugar? Come on. We all had a piece in sugar. And back then, there was 2 types of breed. It was plain and pan, and it was fucking sugar. It was the gluten-free malted bloomer with fucking stevia and the fucking emotional support water bottle. And they're socially inept, they can't chat. They don't even text now, so they'll not talk to you, but they leave you a voice note. I don't fucking understand that in the slightest. They bastardise the English language. They talk about a situationship. Anybody in here in a situationship? So the millennials call that a friend with benefits. Everyone. That was a fucking bad situation for the guy, yeah, I'm afraid. So, a situation, the millennials called that a friend with benefits, and your date was just a shag piece. One of my neighbours said to me, Craig, fancy a friend with benefits? I said, no, I'd rather you get a fucking job, you lazy bitch, and then I'll not need to pay for everything. Fucking emotional support water bottles. So you can't now, you can't just go out to a pub and talk to a woman at a bar, because you're automatically scudded onto the nonce register if you do that. Oh, remember back in the day, who went into town? You went to Fury Murray's, splash a Paco Rabanne and into Fury Murray's. And if you struck out, you were up to the Savoy for the 2 o'clock bin week, just for whatever the fuck was left. But not now, it's Tinder and fucking filter photos. Tinder, swipe left, swipe right, the world's fucking saddest game of deal or no deal. And then when you're finally going to take the banker's offer, the person you think you're meeting, that's not who you're fucking meeting, because he filtered photos. I went on a date, I'd been married for 20 years, I went on a date about 5 years ago, first time in a quarter of a century, and I thought I was meeting Sharon Stone, and I ended up meeting fucking 20 Stone. But back in our day, we had an artificial thing, an artificial substance that made ugly people look better, and it wasn't filtered photos, it was called fucking Thunderbird. And for the young ones who don't know what Thunderbird was, it's an American bum wine. So imagine you get a really bad Pinot Grigio and stick a glug of Sillet bang into it. That's where you're at. And fucking emotional support water bottles. Honestly. So it's a bottle, and you stick stickers and fobs onto it, and you colour coordinate it with your outfit. So ladies of the audience, I will ask you, if it's so important to match your emotional support water bottle with your outfit, why is it not as important to match your eyebrows with the colour of your hair? And that is another bastardisation of the English language, the word aesthetics. Aesthetics means visually pleasing, so what the fuck is visually pleasing about a pair of eyebrows that look as if they were selected for a game of Guess Who? All these wee lassies walking about looking fucking constantly surprised and drinking out their emotional support water bottle with their big Mick Jagger lips and their big spam foreheads. You know that botulism is actually a toxin, so how fucking vain do you need to be that you will let somebody inject poison into your forehead? Big fucking you get a £20 a head buffet and you get charged 30 quid. And anal bleaching. So as you get a bit older, your arse gets a bit worn, no, it gets a wee bit dirty over the years, that's the function. Who the fuck are you married to? What is your man doing? Your wee ace of spades, your ace of arse, we'll call it. Your ace of arse is a bit black there. You better get that fucking bleached. Now, I live in a lovely town. I was actually born in Springburn and brought up for 8 years in lovely places you might have heard of called Bermullach. But I'm out in Wishaw now, fucking lovely places, Wishaw. And as they do, the council close all the wee village halls, and one of them opened up beside me called a Brazilian booty lift clinic. I thought, what the fuck is that? So I did a bit of research, and that's when they take fat from elsewhere in your body and they stick it into your ass. Now, Wishaw has got an addiction problem, and it's caused a lot of mortality and morbidity issues. It's an addiction to munchie boxes. There is a lot of fat fuckers in Wishaw. Where does that fat go? What size does that ass become? Do you need to get a couple of Oscar Pistorius running blades grafted onto the back and you're fucking walking about like a centaur? Honestly. Fucking. And why Brazilian? Back in my day, Brazilian was a wee landing strip at a lady's front bottom. It looked a wee bit like Rolf Harris's goatee. Right, now there's another fucking back. That was another wrong in Rolf Harris. So everybody could BBC Ashes, we knew about Jimmy Savile, we knew about Dave Lee Travis, we knew about Stuart Hall. Nobody suspected it about Rolf Harris. Did you not? What was his two most famous songs? All used musicians in the corner. His two most famous songs were Two Little Boys and Jake the Peg with the Extra Leg. And he was clearly into bestiality as well, because he also wanted his fucking kangaroo tied down. Anyway, I'll take a wee sidestep, because I told you that I live in Wishaw, but up till last year I lived in a lovely place in South Lanarkshire, and I'm sure, with this being the Lea Rig, and seeing what some of you guys are aware, you'll have been to this place, a wee village in South Lanarkshire called Lea Rig. Have you been to that? The big man there, big man, Help for Heroes. What's the big man's name, do we know? Help for Heroes. You must have been to Lea Rig, surely. You have been to Lea Rig. Eh? This guy has been to Lea Rig. So I stayed in Lea Rig. Lea Rig, the main street is called Union Street. You couldn't fucking write it, you really couldn't. And I stayed in a flat above Costa Coffee in Union Street. But 13 years ago, it was a Chinese restaurant. Now some comedians like Kevin Bridges, they should open a Chinese in Lea Rig and call it the Orange Walk. Now this was actually called the Mandarin Walk, and this is Jen up. It was open 2 weeks and the sign gets stolen. The wee guy that owned the shop, Samsung, he thought, I don't know why somebody would steal my sign. Well really, you live in the most fucking bigoted town in central Scotland, and there's a sign on the wall called the Mandarin Walk. So, pre-Scotland, they're fucking Strathclyde's finest. They thought it had been stolen for scrap metal, because 2 weeks before it, lead had been stolen for the Catholic Church and the Catholic primary school. That caused a lot of people were confused at that, because who the fuck knew that there was a chapel in Blackpool? And usually, the only thing that's stolen for a Catholic primary school is innocence. Anyway, we digress. So despite these crowdy young Gen Zs with their social ineptitudes trying to get people who talk to women put on the nonce register, I finally met the love of my life and we're getting married later this year.
Hey!
Her name is Diane. Unlike Stevie Clapp, she likes to play the two up front. She's not here tonight, but I mean, I told you that joke if she was. So, about 4 weeks ago, we were in Glasgow to buy the wedding rings. We were walking down Buchanan Street. Have you been in Buchanan Street recently? It's absolutely fucking brutal. Every couple of steps, I'm cold. Can you get me a room for the night? Have you got the price of a cup of tea? Have you got the price of something to eat? I said, Diane, can you fucking shut up and just look at wedding rings, please? So, you need to keep dating as well. We're both in our 50s, but we need to keep dating. About a month ago, we went to see the Michael Jackson movie. Any Michael Jackson fans? Anybody go and see the Michael Jackson movie? And when it came up on the big screen, British Board of Film Classification, all children under the age of 13 should be accompanied by an adult. But they're not about fucking 35 years too late with that warning. Jesus Christ. And I've lost a lot of weight. I'm actually 5.5 stone. I used to be really, really big now. I'm just really big. So I'm doing something I've never done before, and that's share food. And even last night I was sitting with a cup of tea and having a Kit Kat, and I said to Diane, do you want half of that? She said, no. Well, that's unusual. I've never known her to refuse a finger before. I was talking about a Kit Kat, you dirty bugger, you dirty bugger. Anyway, these wee fannies again, sorry, I'll need to go back a bit, because who are your heroes? Social media influencers and content creators. That's not even a job. Content creator. Content stuff. Create, make. That's not a job. When I was a boy, my idol was Hulk Hogan. And for no other reason than we've all got an inner voice. My inner voice speaks to me in Hulk Hogan's voice. Say your prayers, brother. Eat your vitamins, brother. Vote for Donald Trump, brother. No boo good, let's keep fucking Lea Rig great again. Anyway, wedding plans were going along really well, but who's ruined it? You're right, fucking young people again. Diane works with a few young girls that are getting married. Have you got your magician? No, because we're having a fucking wedding, not a 7-year-old's birthday party. Have you got your content creator? No, I can make my own stuff. Have you got your giant Jenga set? That's what they're doing at weddings. When we go away to get the photos taken, because you can't have a conversation, they want folk to play a big fucking giant Jenga set. And for a wedding, that's probably quite apt, because in life, you'll try and make all the right moves, and it'll finally come all fucking crashing down round about you anyway. Oh, one last thing before I leave you. These millennials, Gen Zs, it's all style and no substance. And the other example of that is gender reveals. Fucking helicopters getting packed with blue and pink smoke, or grown men in fucking blue and pink onesies running down the road. All style and no substance. Myself and my ex-wife, when she was pregnant with a 23-year-old poster girl with a Gen Z and the 20-year-old prick, we just wanted to tell for happy babies, so we didn't know what they were until they were born. And they're the moments that define you. I will never forget that day. I came crashing through the door with a big lump in my throat and my tear in my eye, shouting, "It's a boy! It's a boy!" And that's the day I realised I'm never going back to fucking Thailand on holiday again. Thank you very much.